Seeing such a beautiful day here in May in La Crosse, Wisconsin, it was time to come outside and play. So what I want to talk to you today about is DVRT. What does DVRT stand for? Dynamic Variable Resistance Training, right there. But I think the most unique aspect of DVRT is that letter V. The letter V, it stands for variable, right? So what does that mean? Well, if I were to put you in a gym setting and I gave you an exercise and I said, listen, how can you make this exercise? How can you make this exercise more challenging, more difficult? A lot of people would say, well, you can increase the weight or you can increase the speed, but that's the variety that people are giving themselves, that either I can load up more weight or I can go faster. How much weight can you eventually lift? I mean, if you start lifting 100 pounds, next day you lift 105 pounds, 110, I mean, where do you go where you can't lift any more weight, right? Now that's what's so unique with DVRT and how we use it at Fitness Lying Down, is that our Ultimate Sandbag actually has up to 11 different holding positions. With barbells, kettlebells, and dumbbells, you can only hold those implements up to 4 different ways. And now the way that DVRT embraces movement is that besides all those different holding positions, there's also various body positions. You could be standing. You can go into a staggered stance. You can go into a kneeling position. I mean, that's just scratching the surface. And that's what's the neat thing about that, is having one movement, one exercise with all these different meanings. Before I became immersed into DVRT, I was dreading creating programs for people. That was the one thing I really didn't like to do, because I just felt like I kept recycling the same thing over and over again, trying to put some lipstick on a pig and make it look a little different. I'm just really hoping that the clients that I was training didn't see it that way. And even though there's a big science to creating exercise programs, there's also a huge art to it as well. And I just wasn't able to feel that, because even though I had unlimited equipment for the most part, I just felt so handcuffed, like restrained, that I couldn't make these. Now that's the funny thing. The ironic thing is now I own a gym that is about 1,200 square feet, just a little over 1,200 square feet. So we're talking really small. And we don't have a lot of equipment. But now the creativity, the juices flow when I make these programs. And we hear from clients too that they've been with us for 2-3 years. They keep saying, everything's still so brand new. And even though it is, it's not. Because there's only so many ways that the human body can move. But how we can vary up those movements now, load-wise, position-wise, obviously it's good to engineer these programs, to create these programs, to build people up. But what's even more valuable for me personally as a trainer and as a coach is that I have the ability to reverse engineer on the fly. So if I'm working with somebody and all of a sudden they're just like, I'm not feeling it today, or this hurts, or I can't make this movement happen, I could take that movement. I don't have to change necessarily the implement or anything like that. I might just have to change their holding position. I might just have to change their body position. And all of a sudden I've created more success for them because of it. When I'm working with my clients, I'm not just selling them some meal plan that I'm not partaking in, right? I'm not just telling them to eat these kind of foods and I'm not adhering to that principle. I'm not adhering to that program. I'm asking them to do these movements, and I'm hook, line, and sinker. This is what I do in my own workouts. So when they're talking about this movement being hard, this movement being challenging, I have empathy, not sympathy, but I have empathy, and I know exactly where they're coming from. And that's just the beauty of everything that happens through the DVRT system. You're welcome.